Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to the Church of the Most High. This is Nickelbag speaking on this Monday, March 2nd, 2026, and we are bringing you the scripture live, raw and uncut, the way the good Lord meant it to be. We begin each broadcast with a reading from the book of Proverbs. There are 31 chapters in a typical month. There are 31 chapters in the book of Proverbs. And did I say chapters in a month? There are 31 days in a typical month. There are 31 chapters in the book of Proverbs. If you read a chapter a day, you're a little bit wiser at the end of the month. You're much closer to God and more aware of the way He created us and more conscious of His feelings and thoughts and better off for it. So we're going to begin and get right to it. In the name of JEHOVAH ALLAH, most gracious, most merciful. The book of the Proverbs of the Kings of Israel, chapter 21. My son, if thou wilt receive my words, and hide my commandments with thee, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart to understanding. Yea, if thou criest after knowledge, and liftest up thy voice for understanding, if thou seekest her as silver, and searchest for her as for hid treasures, then shalt thou understand the fear and respect of Jehovah, and find the knowledge of Allah. For JEHOVAH ALLAH giveth wisdom. Out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the paths of judgment, and preserveth the way of his saints. Then shalt thou understand righteousness, and judgment, and equity, yea, every good path. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee. Understanding shall keep thee, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh froward things, who leave the paths of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked, whose ways are crooked, and they froward in their paths, to deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger which flattereth with her words, which forsaketh the guide of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God. For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead. None that go unto her return again, neither take they hold of the paths of life. Walk in the way of good people, and keep the paths of the righteous. For the upright shall dwell in the land, and the perfect shall remain in it. But the wicked shall be cut off from the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out of it. And once again, that was the book of Proverbs, chapter 2. We are going to get into our next reading. Our next reading is always from the book of Psalms. I do want to make note here that the chronological progression of the readings in the Daily Dose, the day by day, chapter by chapter, I call it the cycle, because when we're done each book, we go back right to the beginning and read it again. We have Proverbs 1, today Proverbs 2, tomorrow Proverbs 3. Yesterday was Psalm 23, today is Psalm 24 and 25, and so on and so forth for the rest of the readings. I make mention of this because oftentimes, without any kind of pre-planning, this has been set in motion for a few years now, this particular cycle, without any planning, these lines oftentimes will reflect the readings. The Quran reading will reflect what's said in the Lamentations, and the Proverbs will reflect the Gospel, and so on and so forth. And like I said, I don't plan any of this ahead of time, not the night before, not 5 minutes before, really. I just read it, and the Lord does the rest of the work, and it's quite amazing when it does. Sometimes whole subjects get followed from reading to reading, and again, no planning of my own. And what's more miraculous is when these readings manifest out into the world around us, and when you see these scriptures come to life in the outside world. There's been instances where the readings all involved a whirlwind or a tempest wind, and the next thing you know, there's a weather alert going off around me, and tornadoes touched down. This was July of 2021 in Bucks County, and there was a record number of tornadoes that day, hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage, and it's nothing that I planned at all. I just kept reading day by day, chapter by chapter, and sure enough, on that particular day, the most amazing thing happened, and most terrifying thing. There's been other instances, most recently, not so scary, instructions on how to throw a good party, just a day leading up to the Super Bowl, where we all have parties here in America, and many other instances that nationally and internationally can be seen and checked up on the news. And that's not to mention all the personal revelations that the Lord manifests through these readings. So that's why I recommend following along with this daily dose. But I'm sure if you are a devout lover of God and have your own devotional readings set in play and a consistent basis, that the Lord will show these things to you, and your readings will become manifest in the world out there and seen by everybody in many instances. So, walk with the Lord and miraculous things happen. It's mind-blowing, and I thank the Lord for showing us to us. That said, we're going to get into Psalm 26. Lord, please open our hearts and our minds, and I pray that these things do manifest for everybody. In the name of JEHOVAH ALLAH, most gracious, most merciful. The book of Psalms, Psalm number 26, a psalm of David. Judge me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in JEHOVAH ALLAH. Therefore I shall not slide. Examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash my hands in innocency. So will I compass thine altar, O Yahweh, that I may publish with the voice of thanksgiving, and tell of all thy wondrous works. Yahweh, I have loved the habitation of thy house, and the place where thine honor dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me, and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregations will I bless JEHOVAH ALLAH. And once again, that was Psalm number 26. Actually, why am I reading Psalm 26? Oh, man. Okay, so we skipped ahead. We're going to go back and read the right one. Psalm 24. My fault. All right. Let's get back. In the name of JEHOVAH ALLAH, most gracious, most merciful, the book of the Psalms of David. I'm just going to... Oh, man. What a morning. One more time. In the name of JEHOVAH ALLAH, most gracious, most merciful, the book of Psalms, Psalm number 24, a psalm of David. The earth is JEHOVAH ALLAH's, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas, and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of Jehovah? Or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from JEHOVAH ALLAH, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the people of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob, that seek thy face. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? JEHOVAH ALLAH, strong and mighty. Allah Yahweh, mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? Jehovah of hosts. He is the King of glory. Yahweh El Shaddai. He is the King of glory. Yahweh El Sabaoth. He is the King of glory. All right. You can see I'm a little tired here, but that's okay. We not only read Psalm 24 in quite a few different ways, we also not only gave the Lord his almighty name and his name of the Lord of hosts, but we also read Psalm 26. I guess it's never a bad thing to read more than one psalm a day. So let's get into the next reading, shall we? The next reading is from the Quran, and we read from the New Translation by M.A.S. Abdel Halim from Oxford Press. I don't get paid to say that or anything like that. I don't get any kickbacks. I tell you that because I want you to know which one I'm reading from so you can follow along if you choose. I believe it is the most correct translation we have in the English language. As you can see, it's written in paragraph form. When the Quran is recited, it is a poem of sorts, but it's much more than a poem, and it's a message to all people, a miracle in and of itself. When it's recited in Arabic, it's very beautiful to hear, but it doesn't do an English speaker any good to hear songs sing in a different language. What's important is that we get the message in our own language, and so this gentleman translated it and put it in paragraph form, because to read it in columns like a poem translated from a different language becomes very hard to follow, very hard to understand, and so we have something here that we can all take heed to and learn from. So let's get to the reading. In the name of JEHOVAH ALLAH, most gracious, most merciful. The Quran, Surah number 98, Al-Bayina, clear evidence. Those who disbelieve among the people of the book and the idolaters were not about to change their ways until they were sent clear evidence. A messenger from Allah, reading out purified scrolls containing true scriptures. Yet those who were given the scripture became divided only after they were sent such clear evidence, though all they were ordered to do was worship God alone, sincerely devoting their religion to Him as people of true faith. Keep up the prayer, pay the prescribed alms, for that is the true religion. Those who disbelieve among the people of the book and the idolaters will have the fire of hell there to remain. They are the worst of people. Those who disbelieve and do good deeds are the best of people. Their reward with their Lord is everlasting gardens graced with flowing streams, where they will stay forever. Allah Yahweh is well pleased with them and they with Him. All this is for those who stand in awe of their Lord. Amen. This prescribed alms is charity work, philanthropy, donations, particularly prescribed to the orphans and the widow. So that's a clear message right there, and it is 100% accurate. And so we are going to get into the next reading, and we read next. We are in the book of Lamentations. Lamentations was written by Jeremiah the prophet after the destruction of Jerusalem, and it is a sad song. It is a sad poem written about his love for the city and his people and the destruction by enemy forces. Enemy forces that God allowed to destroy them because of their disbelief and their lack of faith in God and their lack of, quite frankly, their lack of respect toward God. Nothing God despises more than a lack of respect, and things like pedophilia are in fact a lack of respect. God's reputation is a reputation of one who comes to the aid of people in trouble, who comes to help orphans, widows, children in need. And to harm a child is blatant disrespect to God, and it is taking his name in vain. Taking his name in vain, taking his reputation for granted as one who saves children, and thinking you're going to harm children and get away with it. You've taken his name in vain. You will not be held guiltless. Make no mistake. I guess we're going to get to the warning now since we're here. There is a supervolcano underneath Yellowstone National Park in the west coast of the United States. This volcano is massive, more massive than any volcano you've ever heard of or read about on Earth, and it is over 100 years due to erupt. It lies underneath the continent, mounting pressure as we speak, because it's over 100 years due to erupt. Eventually that volcano will erupt, and the blast will take out 20% of the continent right away at the very least, and maybe more. And in the days, weeks to follow, the fallout from the volcanic ash and the fire and brimstone and all the other complications that arise after volcanic eruptions of such a massive nature will take out the rest of the American continent and trouble the rest of the world along with. There is no science, there is no technology that's going to prevent that from happening. We are fucked, in a sense. Our only hope, that is God's contingency plan, by the way. That is for us, that is our curse that we are now under, that we've been under the day we stopped caring about children and pedophiles running rampant on the streets. The only way to stop that, this is what JEHOVAH ALLAH says, the only way to stop that volcano from erupting is to take care of the pedophile problem with extreme prejudice. Our government has neglected this for too long. For one reason or another, it boggles the mind how they've allowed the penalty for raping a child to get soft, to where a child molester and a child rapist does a couple years in jail, gets fed, gets housed, gets given life-saving medicine like insulin, heart statins, seizure medications, blood pressure pills, you name it, all on your tax dollars. Your taxes are paying to keep the pedophiles alive and healthy as we speak. The same pedophile that hurt your child, the same pedophile that fucked your child and ripped them open, you're paying for their medicine right now. You're paying for their insulin. You're paying for their seizure medication. If our government does not deal with this via means of capital punishment immediately, post haste, there is no hope for any of us. You can fly over Iran, you can bomb over Baghdad, you can fucking do the goddamn hokey pokey all you want in Venezuela. We're fucked. And you can blame each and every president we've had sitting in that office until now. You can blame each and every senator sitting in Congress until now. You can blame every judge on the Supreme Court, every judge in your local jurisdiction until now. Sooner or later, though, we're going to have to blame ourselves, too. Because if our government won't handle it, our Constitution says it's up to the people. But I pray that the government handles it quickly, because that is the most important issue on the table today. Our leaders are either ignorant of it, blind to it, are in denial of it, personal psychological denial, like they just don't want to believe it, or they know goddamn well it's going to happen and don't care and are hiding it from you because of selfish reasons. Afraid of panicking everybody. Well, guess what? I'm here to panic everybody. Get panicked, because that thing will blow. Thus saith JEHOVAH ALLAH. You've been warned again, plainly. Get it done. Or the ones that are left of us are going to be singing songs like this next one here. In the name of Jehovah Allah, most gracious, most merciful. The book of the Lamentations of Jeremiah the prophet, chapter 4. How is the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are they esteemed as earthen pitchers, the work of the hands of the potter? Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets. They that were brought up in scarlet embrace shit piles. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was of sapphire. Their visage is blacker than a coal. They are not known in the streets. Their skin cleaveth to their bones. It is withered. It is become like a stick. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for lack of the fruits of the field. The hands of the pitiful women have sodden their own children. They were their meat in the destruction of the daughter of my people. Jehovah Allah hath accomplished his fury. He hath poured out his fierce anger, and hath kindled a fire in Zion, and it hath devoured the foundations thereof. The kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world would not have believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem. For the sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests that have shed the blood of the just in the midst of her, they have wandered as blind men in the streets. They have polluted themselves with blood, so that no man could touch their garments. They cried unto them, Depart ye, it is unclean. Depart, depart, touch not. When they fled away and wandered, they said among the heathen, They shall sojourn no more there. The anger of Jehovah Allah hath divided them. He will no more regard them. They respect not the person of the priests. They favor not the elders. As for us, our eyes has yet failed for our vain help. In our watching, we have watched for a nation that could not save us. They hunt our steps, that we cannot go in our streets. Our end is near. Our days are fulfilled, for our end is come. Our persecutors are swifter than the eagles of the heaven. Swifter than the eagles of the heaven. They pursued us upon the mountains. They laid wait for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of Jehovah Allah, was taken in their pits, of whom we said, Under his shadow we shall live among the heathen. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken, and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. And once again, that was the book of the Lamentations of Jeremiah the prophet, chapter 4. And our next reading is from the Gospel. We are at the Gospel of St. Luke. It is the third book in the New Testament, the third Gospel. and we are in chapter 6. So without any further, well, I guess I'll go back yesterday. Well, no, well, yeah, I guess so. They started to, the self-righteous, well-to-do leaders of the people began to question Jesus and try to shame him for his disciples just being regular people. You know, Jesus' disciples were just regular people. Regular, middle class, sometimes poor, sometimes a little bit wealthier, but all of them just regular people, sinners. The self-righteous hypocrite people began to shame Jesus and ask him why his followers don't have sticks up their ass too. And Jesus just said, well, I'm here not to help people that don't need help. I'm not here to help people who don't need any help. I'm here to help the people that do need help. And that kind of shut him up for a while. So our next reading, we're going to get right into chapter 6. In the name of JEHOVAH ALLAH, most gracious, most merciful. The book of the Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 6. And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first, that he went through the cornfields, and his disciples plucked the ears of corn, and did eat, rubbing them in their hands. And certain of the Pharisees said unto them, Why do ye that which is not lawful to do on the Sabbath days? And Jesus answering them said, Have ye not read so much as this, what David did when himself was hungered, and they which were with him, how he went into the house of Allah, and did take and eat the showbread, and gave also to them that were with him, which is not lawful to eat but for the priest alone? And he said unto them, The Son of Man is Lord also of the Sabbath. And it came to pass also on another Sabbath, that he entered into the synagogue and taught. And there was a man whose right hand was withered. And the scribes and Pharisees watched him, whether he would heal on the Sabbath day, that they might find an accusation against him. But he knew their thoughts, and said to the man which had the withered hand, Rise up and stand forth in the midst. And he arose and stood forth. Then said Jesus unto them, I will ask you one thing. Is it lawful on the Sabbath days to do good, or to do evil, to save life, or to destroy it? And looking round about upon them all, he said unto the man, Stretch forth thy hand. And he did so, and his hand was restored whole as the other. And they were filled with madness, and communed one with another what they might do to Jesus. And it came to pass in those days that he went out into a mountain to pray, and continued all night in prayer to Allah. And when it was day, he called unto him his disciples, and of them he chose 12, whom also he named apostles: Simon, whom he also named Peter, and Andrew his brother, James and John, Philip and Bartholomew, Matthew and Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon called Zelotes, and Judas the brother of James, and Judas Iscariot, which also was the traitor. And he came down with them, and stood in the plain, and the company of disciples, and a great multitude of people out of all Judea and Jerusalem, and from the sea coast of Tyre and Sidon, which came to hear him, and to be healed of their diseases. And they that were vexed with unclean spirits, and they were healed. And the whole multitude sought to touch him, for there went virtue out of him, and healed them all. And he lifted up his eyes on his disciples, and said, Blessed be ye poor, for yours is the kingdom of Allah. Blessed are ye that hunger now, for ye shall be filled. Blessed are ye that weep now, for ye shall laugh. Blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil, for the Son of Man's sake. Rejoice ye in that day, and leap for joy. For behold, Your reward is great in heaven, for in like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. Woe unto you when all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. But I say unto you which hear, love your enemies, do good to them which hate you, bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. And unto him that smiteth thee on the one cheek, offer also the other. And him that taketh away thy cloak, forbid not to take thy coat also. Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise. For if ye love them which love you, what thank have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thank have ye? For sinners also do even the same. And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thank have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again. But love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest. For he is kind to the unthankful and to the evil. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, and shaken together, running over, shall men give into your bosom. For with the same measure that ye mete withal, it shall be measured to you again. And he spake a parable unto them. Can the blind lead the blind? Shall they not both fall into the ditch? The disciple is not above his master, but every one that is perfect shall be as his master. And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but perceiveth not the beam that is in thine own eye? Either how canst thou say to thy brother, Brother, let me pull out the mote that is in thine eye, when thou thyself beholdest not the beam that is in thine own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out the beam out of thine own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to pull the mote that is in thy brother's eye out. For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither doth a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by his fruit. For of thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me, and heareth my sayings, and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which built an house, and digged deep, and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house, and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. And once again, that was the Gospel according to St. Luke, chapter 6. And I'm going to make mention of the warning again. Listen to what I'm telling you in regards to the volcano, in regards to the problem of pedophilia. President Trump, you've tried to remove the mote out of someone else's eye without beholding the beam in your own. You've taken deadly force upon another nation 1,000,000 miles away, overseas, under the pretense of freedom and some kind of weapon that they have of mass destruction and how that might harm our country, and you refuse to look at the beam in our own eye of the fucking pedophiles destroying our children every day from within, running rampant through our country, unchecked, soft punishment. They don't even get a slap on the wrist. They're protected from any kind of physical violence, so a slap on the wrist doesn't happen to them. It will fall, and that volcano will be the fall of it. And your actions in Iran are only going to add to it. They will come back to haunt us. Make no mistake. Ask your advisors, ask the people you trust to inform you. I told you God was not with you, and you went anyway. It will come back to haunt us. Take care of the fucking pedophile problem, first and foremost. And let me go back and end it with a little bit more positivity here with this bag pressed down, shaken together. Every pot smoker loves a fat bag, and God deals out the best, the fattest bags of all. So keep that in mind, friends, as we go about our day and give our praises to the highest, JEHOVAH ALLAH. Let me give the blessing and we can go on with our day. Allah Yahweh bless thee and keep thee. JEHOVAH ALLAH cause the face to shine upon thee and be gracious toward thee. Hashem lift up the countenance upon you and give you peace. Assalamualaikum. Shalom, friends. God bless you all. Naranja Aranos.